So here it is, a fantastically exciting moment for me, which was the chance to drive for the first time this spectacular car. And I can only say many thanks to the owner for letting me have this incredibly rare opportunity. It's the only one of its kind in this spec in Europe, and there are a handful elsewhere in the world, so this is a super rare and super cool car. So I was absolutely delighted to get behind the wheel. One of the conditions though was that the car was still running in, so I'll get that up front. This is a very gentle driving video.
That was the wrong result.
With respect to the judge, we unanimously.
Very light steering. Crazy grinding diffs already. Crazy. Out of control. It feels like it sort of chunks around corners, but look at that. Ridiculous car. Best seats in the world ever though.
Well, I can tell you straight away, even at parking speeds, you can feel the super aggressive Kit A diffs that this car has, and you'll see how they were made in the earlier series of videos I've got on this car, in the build videos, but you can feel them straight away at parking speeds. If you've ever driven a quad bike or something like that on the road, that is how it feels. It sort of skips around corners. The diffs are so aggressive, it feels like it's a completely solid rear axle. Sound of an Attack GTR with the titanium exhaust pipe, and it's not actually much louder at low engine speeds than the standard pipe. So I'd only been in the car a few minutes, but I just felt compelled to stop and pull over and take it all in again. It's an incredible work of carbon art, and it just looked amazing in the bright sunshine. So that's what I'm doing here. And those seats are as good as they look. And apologies for the moronic gum chewing. It was an outward sign of my inner excitement, and I have taken note to not do that again in future videos. spec-tac GTR feel on the open road then? Well, there's a lovely tactile suede covered steering wheel, which feels immediately different to a standard GTR. The exotic Öhlins 4-way adjustable dampers are undeniably firm, but you know you're in something pretty serious. The whole car feels very sort of hunkered down. It feels very solid, very, very strong. But the steering is surprisingly light actually, but it's nice, it's great steering. It's quite delicate, very precise, but it is quite lightly weighted. Unlike the rest of the car, which feels undeniably industrial strength, there's a touch of battleship about it. The paddle shift gearbox is a little bit dozy at low engine speeds. I know from driving a previous car that it's set up to work really well at high engine speeds, but driving it low down here, it's a little bit lazy. It's very, very easy car to drive because of it, and actually it's a strange mixture of feeling very mechanical thanks to the diffs and other things, but also quite refined. The powertrain is quite smooth and quite refined. But defying physics has always been part of the GTR's appeal, and this one takes that to new limits. Through this section here, doesn't look very fast, but I pushed on a little bit more whilst keeping the revs low. And Nissan have basically found a way of straightening corners out. You are not aware of any cornering at all, there's no roll whatsoever, and it feels utterly dismissive of your ideas of cornering more quickly. Obviously still taking it very easy, but you can just feel there's enormous grip underneath you. The whole car just feels unbreakable and totally unflappable. But here's the thing, the overriding impression of a Kit A N-TAC car is of an entirely mechanical monster. Thanks to those super aggressive diffs and hydraulic steering, it's not at all a digital experience. In fact, you can't even adjust the damper settings electronically like you can with the standard car. They're fixed rate settings, and they're set to exactly the same settings Michael Crum used to get his 7:08 lap time, which is a really nice feature. It's almost like they don't really care how that works on the road. It was set up for that lap time, and that's how the car is. This isn't a conventional supercar by any means, but it really does feel a very exotic car in its own right in this spec, and it is really still Japan's top dog sports car. And I think again in this spec it tips it over into the realms of something more exotic. It isn't conventional. I love the way it has fantastic visibility, which happens to be even better than the standard car with the raised rear wing, as well as its all-weather ability and reasonable practicality. Most of all, I love the way it doesn't look like any other supercar. It really is a unique thing in the marketplace, and I celebrate it for that. The key question with this spec of car and the sort of price that you need to pay to buy one is how does it stack up against entry-level Ferraris and the like. Well, I think it's a much rarer and more special thing actually than an entry-level Ferrari, and the reality is you're going to have to pay a lot more for a 488. Now a few people at this point might say yes, but you get a 911 Turbo S for less money, which is in fact the case, but I don't think it's anyone's actual ultimate dream car, whereas I think this is. It would definitely be my choice anyway. The rarity of the N-TAC pack cars can't be overstated. There is another Kit B in the UK, but this is the only Kit A in Europe. There's one Kit A that's known of in the States, and in Japan no one knows the mixture, but there's about 20 cars. No one knows exactly how many are divided between Kit A and Kit B. So you're talking ultra rarefied. If you ever see one of these cars, it's going to be this actual car, or it's going to be a silver one, which is the Kit B car, and that's it for the UK. So please do check out my other videos on this car. I've got a series of 4 videos that detail the build of this car from standard Nismo GTR into this N-Attack Kit A car. Well, the next one I hope will be a lot faster and more exciting, so please subscribe for that. Thank you for watching.